What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Words from My Face. My name is Brian. With me, as always, producer extraordinaire Brennan.
Yo.
And we are the one and only home of the Chewbacca chainsaws. And you might see something a little bit different tonight. You might notice something that's going on that just hasn't normally gone on. And I'm not talking about our 35-minute late start. I'm talking about you can actually see our faces. Huh.
Yeah, look at that. You could do that. On Words from My Face.
Yeah, I mean, we're bringing the face straight at you. And I guess the words, too. I mean, they come hand in hand, right? And so if you see me making a lot of awkward faces, which I will, if you see me not looking at the camera very much, which I won't, yeah, sorry about that. But hit us up at Words from My Face on Twitter, Google+, Gmail, all those places. Oh, don't forget about our website. It's there too, wordsfrommyface.com. Hit us up, let us know. Tell me if you think it's good with the webcam, you love my beautiful face, you hate my beautiful face, but as long as it says beautiful face in there.
Yeah, we're going to try out over the next couple episodes some different styles, though, to see how people like it. We've been doing the various games in the background for the last
Big ups to
few
Chris
weeks.
Chung.
Yeah, Chris Chung for providing us with cat lateral damage and building bashers. We had War Mucks and Blobby Volley, but we're going to try out this, see what people think. We'll have some other things in the future we'll try out and see where things go. But as Brian mentioned, we are starting late tonight.
Yeah. It's Google's fault. I blame you, Google, even though I love you, Google, for letting us do this for free pretty much. So, yeah. Chewbacca won't be coming after you. I can guarantee you that. He will not. But if it happens again, I can't make any promises. You never know what will happen with Chewbacca running around.
Yeah, we were continually denied the broadcast tonight, so that's why we're a little late.
Yeah, but we are doing an entertainment show tonight, and of course, the entertainment show always starts with horrible movie of the week. But let me just tell you what's going on today. You might want to know, and this is where you're going to see it weird when I look down at my notes, because I am not in the 21st century. I do not type out anything. I just write it down straight from the dome. Straight from the dome.
Mm-hmm. And you can't remember a thing.
Not at all. No short-term memory at all. But tonight we got for you 24 is returning to TV screens with a little bit of a different format. Talk a little bit about that. We got movie news. The greatest character name of all time, Axel Foley, will be returning to the silver screen with Beverly Hills Cop 4. And then we got a little bit of a rounded out with a game that comes out yearly. But this year might be a little bit different, and that's Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. But let's start it out like every week with the horrible movie of the week. And then this, if you don't know, is where I, Brian, find a horrible movie and watch it. And then don't really review it, just kind of just tell you some of the horriblest things about it. And yes, I did make up a word, horriblest, because that's how bad these things are. And so this week, I watched a horrible movie, and I think before it even came out, it went down in history as one of the worst movies of all time, and that was a movie called Movie 43.
And before it came out, it was one of the worst movies of all time.
Yes, before it came out, it was one of the worst movies of all time. And now this is kind of surprising, because in this movie you have everybody. Hugh Jackman, Kate Winslet, a million people, Halle Berry's in this. I can't even go, Dennis Quaid. The list just goes on and on and on, because I don't even want to talk about this movie. That's how traumatic of an experience it was. So I'm just going to get right into it and just tell you some of the worst things about this movie. First of all, chin balls are not funny. They're just not. They can work in place to place, but in this movie, it just wasn't funny at all.
Okay.
Yeah, what do you think about chin balls? Not funny at all.
I think they're hilarious.
Yeah.
Absolutely hilarious. I don't think you know what you're talking about. I don't even know what you mean by chin balls.
A guy had pretty much balls hanging from his chin as one of the prop gags. Like, the whole time. They're like, he takes off his scarf and there's a big pair of balls on his neck. And that was the big joke.
But did they do this, like, throughout the movie?
No, because it's just little scenes. So it was like 10, 15 minutes of this joke straight, which, again, wasn't funny. And then they just moved on to the next joke, which was like period jokes or something like that, and that wasn't funny at all. And then they moved on to a leprechaun skit, which was a little funny from point to point, and then that wasn't funny at all. And then they moved on to another skit, tying them all together with a non-funny inter-skit mixer thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so wait a second, though. The chin balls thing, It wasn't like a joke from Family Guy. Like a
Yes,
really like
that's
2 second joke from Family Guy.
yes, yes, and that's what I'm saying. It just wasn't funny. Just was not funny at all. Yeah, another couple things about this. Number one, if you're casting a comedy movie, you should actually cast comedy actors in there. That might help a little bit, just a little bit, with the comedic flow. And they just didn't have those. I mean, don't get me wrong, Halle Berry, Kate Winslet, Hugh Jackman, great actors, not comedy actors. Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah, I mean sometimes it's nice to
Pretty sad.
see an action actor thrown into some of these comedy movies, like Tom Cruise in Tropic Thunder and things like that. But you got to have someone to hold down the fort for the
Yeah,
comedy. Like,
and they didn't. They really didn't. I mean, and there's just only so many poop and ball jokes I can watch and laugh at, and they exceeded that amount within the first 2 minutes of the movie. So yeah, I'm gonna give this the lowest rating I've ever given for any horrible movie I've ever watched. So that'll make this the worst movie I've ever watched for the show. And I'm gonna go ahead and give it half a Chewbacca chainsaw.
half.
Half.
I
Half a
can't even
Chewbacca
play the
chainsaw.
sound effect with half.
Well, you can play half the sound effect.
Okay, so I guess
Just the
just
chainsaw. Oh, wrong half. Wrong half. Just the chainsaw half.
all right.
So let's
Which made
move
me
on
sound so well.
from this horrible, horrible, horrible movie to something that should be pretty entertaining. That's 24 is returning to TV. And if you don't know what 24 is, 24 was a TV show that came out, I believe, in 2002, pretty much to capitalize off of everybody being scared of terrorists. Because you had this guy who was part of the counterterrorism unit come in and pretty much save the day 1 hour at a time.
He saved literally the day because there was only ever
Yeah.
one day per season.
Yeah, exactly. And there's, I actually really like the way they do the show because they really try to take it like, some TV shows try to expand out over a large period of time. Some like to do just small moments of time, but this is really telling you day by day, I mean, hour by hour, second by second replay of what's going on in this guy's life. And now a couple of these seasons have been pretty good. I believe a nuclear bomb went off at one point in one of these seasons. President was kidnapped in one of these seasons. But the real thing that's going to be interesting about this show is usually they come out with 24 episodes in a season. So, you have each hour by hour. I believe they had a TV movie as well mixed in there, and then it went off the air for a couple of years. And so they're bringing it back, and this year it's going to be a summer event, which usually means they don't have any confidence in it. Think about the last TV show that you've heard about going off in the summer that they really loved.
I don't remember any, to be honest. That's probably really hard.
That's the thing. That's the thing. There's probably like 5 out there in all of history. Maybe we'll come back at you with a top 5 list of good TV shows that were released in the summer, but that's not what we're going through now. But so what they're going to do is it's going to be a summer miniseries event, not really a miniseries, but an event where they're just going to pack all those 24 hours into 12 episodes. Yeah. That's
So they got half the budget this time, is what I'm hearing.
That's what I think. So, but Kiefer Sutherland will be returning. He will be everybody's favorite CGU, chasing down the bad guys. I don't really know what the big storyline is for this year, but I know that Jack Bauer and his sidekick, the girl that always did all the intelligence, they'll be running from the law. They're fugitives. Yeah, that's right. They're on the lam. You can call them mint jelly.
Yeah, sure,
No,
why
you didn't
not?
like that joke? I mean, I don't really like lamb, and I don't really like mint jelly, but you do, so I figured you might like it.
I mean, I love lamb. I like the flavor of lamb. I don't put mint on my lamb because I like the flavor of lamb because it is in fact the best meat.
Okay, no, we're not going to get into this right now. People tuned in for an entertainment show, not a debate on which meat is the best. Chicken. But we'll just move on from that. And so check it out. It'll be on Fox this summer. I believe it starts in June. So it should be interesting. If you were a fan of the original series, you're going to love this one. And if you weren't, if you've never watched it before, it seems like this is a good place to jump in just because this is going to be more of an enclosed event. They're probably going to fill you in on a little bit what's going on, but they're going to make it all brand new stories. Hopefully they won't be bringing back any returning characters like bad guys or something like that, and then you won't know what's going on. But I plan to watch it, and I've only watched like 1 or 2 of the seasons, and that was back in the beginning. So I do plan on catching up. So again, Fox in June.
Yeah,
Same with
hopefully.
Fox.
I'm hoping that if you don't need to know the rest of the story, that'd be great. I might even watch it. I didn't watch the original series in older seasons at all because I had missed a few episodes, and it seemed like a show that you really can't miss some episodes. So I just never got into it
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
never
I mean, if you're
went back and
watching it
caught
for
up.
the season, you don't want to miss any episodes. You just don't want to do that. That probably wouldn't be so good. But let's move it on. And let's talk a little bit about some movie news.
Okay, what movies?
What
We didn't
movies?
talk about it.
The movies. But I'm really excited about this because the best named character, I don't care what you say, this is the best named character in movie history, bar none. That's what I'm saying. Axel Foley. Yes, I share the same last name as him, but that is not why I said yes. That's why he has the best last name. That's why he has the best. But his first name's Axel. I mean, how do you beat that? Really?
It is a pretty cool
It's like,
name.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you can beat Axel.
I had a gym teacher that would call me Axel Foley just because of that movie, obviously.
I'd take that as a compliment.
I was always like, yeah, all right, fine, whatever.
Hey, at least you're not calling me some other, some like Princess Peach or something like that. I'm cool with Axel Foley. That's awesome for me. But if you haven't ever watched Beverly Hills Cop, that was a trilogy of movies back in the 80s, pretty much Eddie Murphy's heyday, where he was at his peak. And it's one of those buddy cop movies with the comedy and action all mixed in there, where he pretty much, being a Detroit police officer, heads to Beverly Hills to solve crimes there.
Yeah,
Hence
honestly,
the name.
Beverly Hills Cop, which honestly threw me off a little bit originally because I expected with a name like Beverly Hills Cop, it was going to be pure, just ridiculous comedy about how cops in Beverly Hills, they don't really deal with anything or something like that. And
Oh no.
I was surprised.
There was
I was
like
surprised
12-foot
like,
blondes in this one with machine guns. There was lots to deal with.
yeah, I mean, it was still it had comedic properties, but they didn't just play that. It wasn't like a National Lampoon's movie or anything. It was
It was
a legit movie.
I mean, it reminds me of the
action
Rush Hour
and
movies.
real stuff.
You had that good mixture of action and comedy, whereas kind of Eddie Murphy's character was Jackie Chan's character, plus a little bit of Chris Tucker's character, and then you had the good group of the two buddy cops that was like the straight man and the funny guy. So it just worked really well. And so in this new installment, like I said, he was a Detroit police officer who would always end up in L.A. fighting crime. That just Beverly Hills. I guess if he's not in Beverly Hills, they can't really call it Beverly Hills Cop, so they had to take him there for some reason. But in this one, you're going to see Axel Foley, and Eddie Murphy is going to be reprising the role. He's going to stay in Detroit this time. So it's going to be called Beverly Hills Cop 4, but he might not be in Beverly Hills.
I'm sure they'll have like some scene where he goes to Beverly Hills or talks to the guys or something. But he's also going to be older now, so I guess they're probably playing off of that he's now like a especially seasoned cop. Like he was already an experienced cop in the Beverly Hills Cops, the older ones. So.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see who the new bad guys are, because before it was drug dealers and I believe like Russian mob, and now it's probably like, again, drug dealers, but cartels or something like that. I guess you could still throw the Russians in there. They could try to, he could go to Ukraine and try to stop the Ukraine invasion.
He could, but yeah, being in Detroit, I mean, there's anything that they could go for crime at least, because
maybe he's going to stop the city from bankrupting itself.
Maybe he's just fixing up the city. Maybe it's going to be like RoboCop.
Well, maybe he'll rehabilitate some parks and put some new basketball courts in, and do some landscaping.
I mean, there's lots of stuff that can be done there. I do think though, Beverly Hills Cop RoboCop crossover needs to happen.
That would be
Detroit
pretty cool.
Anyway.
They both have cop in the name. Come on. At wink. And just so you know, Jerry Bruckheimer is returning to produce this movie. And I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but Brett Ratner will be directing. And he doesn't have the best track record with all movies.
Yeah, what was his last movie?
I don't know what his last movie was, but he did one of the Spider-Man ones that wasn't very good. He did X-Men 3.
Oh, he did both? Wait, did he do Spider-Man 3 and X-Men 3?
I believe so.
So he did like the Kill the series movies. That
well,
doesn't speak well.
X-Men was able to bring it back. They survived.
Yeah,
they were able to bring themselves back.
But he didn't direct the other X-Men movies.
No, the Bryan Singer actually did the other X-Men movies. The good ones were done by Bryan Singer. So. Yeah, and he also wrote the good ones, and he didn't write the bad ones.
So wait. So this is a director though that's known for essentially just let's come in to a sequel of a established series and make the worst of it. So that really doesn't.
Yeah, boost of confidence there. Yeah, I mean, we just talked about how excited we are about it, and now we brought you down. But
however,
you know what?
This is
Let
a different
us know.
type of movie.
Let us know what if you're looking forward to it or if you're not. Hit us up at Words for My Face on Twitter, Google+. You know what? They can always like and subscribe in the comments down below. Yeah, hit us up. We're everywhere. That's the beauty of this thing called the internet.
Everywhere.
Everywhere, all at once.
In your mind.
In your mind. In your mind. And while we're doing these voices, I think it's time to move on to Quick Kids.
What?
You didn't have the sound effect ready.
No, I did not.
Let's try it again. Quick Hits! So, tonight on Quick Hits, we have for you. And if you don't know Quick Hits, this is where I just throw out a couple of stories, just fun stories, really quick one-liners, and we give a little bit of a synopsis on it. But the first Quick Hit of the night.
You're just going to go straight back.
I'm just going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep doing it. I'm trying to catch you off guard. See, now I can see you. That's the one problem with doing the webcam, is I can see him when I'm not paying attention, and I can always catch him off guard. But so for the first quick hit is actually, you didn't have to do it that time. I didn't do the voice.
I know. I don't care. I'm doing it myself now to make up for getting caught off guard, so I'm going to catch you off guard.
Okay. I see how it is. But so the first quick hit is Obi-Wan Kenobi is apparently going to make an appearance in the new Star Wars Rebels series. Pretty cool.
I'm not that surprised, but that sounds cool.
And hopefully the same voice actor who did the voice work from Clone Wars will do the same one because he did an awesome job. I'm wondering to see if they're going to have Darth Vader pop up in that Star Wars Rebels show because it's supposed to take place in the 19 years between 3 and 4. So it'd be a cool way to see, the evil beginnings of Darth Vader.
Well, he would have already begun to be evil. Yeah, exactly. So.
Well, he's Darth Vader, though.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Darth Vader evilness.
I would imagine they're at least they're gonna have to talk about him. I mean, that's what they're the rebels. He's already especially well known as the Dark Lord by early on. So
yeah, so it should be pretty cool to see. Again, I'm already super hyped for this show, so I can't wait to see it. I'm almost done with the Clone Wars, and if you haven't seen it, it's epic. What are you doing? Go watch it now after the show. Not right now. I didn't mean right now. I meant right after you're done watching the show. That's when I want you to watch it.
That's always the appropriate time after this show.
I meant to say exactly, but I almost said something. I don't even know what I almost said. That's how I roll. But let's move on to the next quick hit. And rumors are that the Unreal Tournament video games franchise is about to make a big comeback. I believe they're going to title it Unreal Tournament 4. And if you don't know about Unreal Tournament, what are you doing? You must not have ever been a PC gamer back in the 90s because that was an awesome game. That's really one of the first FPS, really bring your friends together, everybody jump on a LAN party or online. I mean, Halo 2 and Unreal Tournament were the two games that brought online gaming to where it is today. It's really the grassroots of this gaming franchise. And Unreal Tournament 3, I am sorry to say, sucked. I mean, I had that for Xbox 360. I bought it with a friend of mine. We bought it so we could play it online together, and literally 4 days after we bought it, we returned them. We both bought them brand new. We returned them for $15 less than we bought it for, and then ended up exchanging it for a FIFA game. So that's how Unreal Tournament 3 was. So here's me looking forward to a good Unreal Tournament 4, because if you've played almost any game on Xbox 360 or PlayStation 3, you've seen that powered by Unreal. And that means that's what the technology was developed for, was those games, and then they were used in other platforms.
Yeah, the Unreal Tournament games are typically actually just the showcasing of the new engine that they eventually license out to a lot of other first-person shooters and other games. So it's going to be great for other games as well, probably.
Yeah, I'll be looking forward to seeing the new Unreal Tournament game. But let's move on to the next quick hit. Haha, got you again. Oh, wow. And you knew that was coming. That was pretty obviously coming. I mean...
I did. My finger slipped.
It's what you get for trying to take a drink in the middle of the show. Don't you see me? I'm going without any juices, waters, sodas, Red Bulls, any other type of beverage because I don't know. I just was stupid and forgot to bring one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see what the benefit of that was.
Yeah, I don't know. But especially when I do quick hits. You were on point that one. But so the next quick hit is going to be the entire catalog of Marvel stuff, TV shows, movies, is going to be released on Netflix in 2015 to coincide with the release of the first of the 4 original shows for Netflix, and that's in 2015.
All the ones under Marvel Studios?
Marvel Studios, yeah, the Disney Marvel Studios mix. Because Disney's actually become a good partner of Netflix, so you've seen a lot of those kind of mixing together.
Okay, but not the stuff that's owned by other companies. So not like the Spider-Man and X-Men and all that, which are owned by...
Just the Disney stuff, the Marvel Studios stuff. So.
Okay. Gotcha.
So that'll be pretty cool. And that was our quick hits of the night.
I'm not giving you a sound effect.
What? You can't just not give me the sound effect.
That's the last one. I don't have to do an outro sound effect.
Fine. Be that way.
That's
But so let's move on to the last story of the night. And this is kind of how we like to always end the show, with a nice little video game rant going on. And this week, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, they just released a trailer last week for it. And I got to say, even though it comes out every year and it tends to get a little boring from time to time, this one looks awesome. I mean, they're calling it Advanced Warfighter, and they've already done the Modern Warfare. Some of the Black Ops kind of took into the future, but they're really kind of taking a different twist on this, and I think it's really inspired by games like Titanfall. Because some of the new things that they've released in the trailer, just listen to this. So you get exosuits, as well as mech suits in this. Now, I don't know if it's multiplayer, but at least in the single player, they showed that off, so that's pretty cool. Who doesn't like a good mech suit? An exosuit, I mean, if you've never seen the show from the 90s, Exo Squad, I recommend you try to, because that was an amazing show. And amazing action figures, too, but that I always lost all the pieces, so...
And to be honest, to be fair, the exosuit idea is not that far from the tech that we have now, that we already are starting to see, like, assistive mechanics, like, go over your legs or whatever, that are to help faster move or whatever it is.
Totally. I was watching a show the other day where they were showing somebody with a severed spinal cord, and they were able to tap some of the exosuit into there so they could actually walk, because it'd steal some of the electric signals from the spinal cord and move the legs like your brain was trying to. So
yeah,
pretty cool stuff. Another thing that they're going to be doing, and again, like I said, Titanfall inspired, is going to be wall climbing. You're going to be able to do some crazy wall climbing all the way throughout the game. So that would be a really cool multiplayer element. Imagine just running up a wall and jumping over a bad guy, shooting him on the top of the head, with him never seeing you. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, but so they're definitely moving away from the roots of a realistic shooter here, like a realistic military shooter. Now they're going to wild
they've kind of
stuff.
done that to death. They did that for about 7 years, where they did realistic shooters. So they're trying to branch out a little bit, especially since you're doing a once-a-year franchise. You really need to, make it fresh, keep it lively.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they do, because that's going to require. I would assume it requires a lot of changes on their end too, because they had all the stuff ready for the various realistic stuff that they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they'll move over to the Unreal Engine, because that already does a bunch of other unrealistic games. Like,
I think they have their own
Halo use it and things like that. So
yeah, I think they have their own engine that they use pretty much for these Call of Duty games. So I don't see them doing that, unfortunately. But
all right, well, they can do it.
Another cool thing coming out in the next one is invisibility suits. That's right, invisibility suits, which is actually not a technology too far away from today. There is technology out there with fabrics that actually bend light.
Yes.
I know.
And this is sounding more and more like as they go away from the realistic, though. I'm kind of wondering, like, I guess there was other realistic shooters before too, but I'm just reminded more and more of Halo.
Yeah. And then listen to the next piece of tech: an infrared grenade that lets you see through walls.
The grenade lets you see through walls?
Yeah, you throw it sends out an infrared spectrum, and you get to see through walls for a short period of time.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, like, you just like You hold the
Well,
grenade and you can see through walls with the
see,
grenade.
traditional grenades let you see through walls too. You throw it at a wall and let it blow up. So, you know,
I guess you're right about
the,
that one.
but yeah. So, yeah, I guess it's not too far off of what real grenades do. But oh, looks like I dropped off of the webcam. Oh well.
No, I see
We're
you.
just. Oh, you see me? Okay. Well, I didn't see me. So stupid Google. Stupid Google. But some of the other cool things that are going to be there, you're going to get hover bikes. Who doesn't like a good hover bike? I know I love a good hover bike.
I mean, I got one just last year, and it's in my backyard. All them hover bikes. Like
We're
to go
hover biking it
riding
up.
sometimes.
Hover biking it up. It's the ultimate off-road vehicle because you don't even need to touch the road. You're literally
Off the road.
off the road. And so another cool thing, spider tanks. I've always wanted to see a real spider tank. It always seemed like a cool idea. You see it in different shows and movies and sci-fi all the time, and I'd like to pilot one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. Yeah, that's a cool addition right there. Spire tanks. I mean, I love them in like Ghost in the Shell uses them a lot, and a whole bunch of series now. For some reason, spider tanks make sense to a lot of people. Like whatever, it's cool.
It just seems like a good idea. It's a good way to keep stable and move in all different types of terrain. So, but this is probably my favorite addition to the whole thing. Is they're actually bringing in. Now they had brought in different people. I believe Ice Cube was one of the characters. He was a backup in your squad, and he actually had the voice in multiplayer telling you when you got a kill streak and stuff. But Kevin Spacey is going to be doing the acting and voice work of the villain of this game. So you're bringing a real actor with real pedigree into the series, and really, hopefully, you'll change the dynamics of the storytelling and make it more immersive, even though you are going less realistic.
Yeah, and honestly, that's kind of a strange project for Kevin Spacey, but he's been doing a lot of strange projects lately. Like he had a whole series of just I don't know, a few minute films. All these short films. Just like a couple of years ago, he released to. I don't know where he first released it, but there was a bunch on YouTube that they released officially, and there was just like I don't know 5 or 6 of these 5 minute films that he was the star of.
Well, I just got to say, Kevin Spacey is the man. I'm not a huge fan of Game of Thrones. I almost said
You are a fan of Game of Thrones, but
I meant House of Cards. I'm a huge fan of Game of Thrones. Like I'll sing the theme song right now. There's no words to it, but I've made my own words to it that I kind of sing to myself whenever the song actually comes on, because it's like also one of the greatest theme songs out there. But we weren't talking about that. We were talking about Kevin Spacey. So Kevin Spacey's done a lot of cool things. You're right. He's been branching out. House of Cards was one of those things. The internet web series you're talking about is another one. So it should help liven up the series a little bit more. Now, Ghost was a great game, and it did take it in an interesting direction, but I see this really fulfilling what Ghost started. So check it out. Again, that hits every November. I mean, if you didn't know it hits in November, that Assassin's Creed and Madden are in all the sports games, you're going to know what month they come out in. So get ready for that. But you know what? I think that's the show for tonight. I hope you didn't mind the webcam. I hope you liked it. And if you didn't, hit us up at Words for My Face on Twitter, Words for My Face at Google. I should say Words for My Face at gmail.com. Google Plus. If you're watching this on YouTube, you could subscribe.
Good. You could. You could also like bookmark our webpage or something.
I call this the dolphin plea.
And see, this is why we never had webcams before. Because otherwise, Ryan do this.
Yeah, that was the dolphin plea. So if you never want to see me do that again, let me know at Words for My Face on Twitter. I need a horrible movie of the week for next week, so hit me up on that. And as always, Thursday coming at you, we got our sports show, which right before this show, I mean, the Wizards played an amazing game, but I'll talk about that on Thursday. So as always, I'm Brian. With me, as always, is producer extraordinaire Brendan.
You.
And we are signing out. Peace.